The inversion from brain-created consciousness to consciousness as the ground. Most people grow up with an unspoken assumption that consciousness is something the brain produces, that inside your skull, neurons fire, electricity moves, chemistry reacts, and somehow, out of that, comes your experience, your thoughts, your sense of I am. But this assumption is never actually experienced. No one has ever directly observed consciousness being created by the brain. What we do experience directly, undeniably, is awareness itself, right now, before any thought, before any interpretation. There is simply this, the knowing that you are aware. Everything else, your body, your thoughts, your memories, the world around you, appears within that awareness, not the other way around. The nature of experience. Everything appears in awareness. Pause for a moment and look carefully at your experience, not intellectually, directly. The sound around you, the feeling of your body, the image of the room, even the sense of time passing. All of it appears in awareness. You never step outside awareness to verify anything. You never experience a world out there independent of consciousness. Even the idea of a physical universe existing on its own is a thought appearing within awareness. This leads to a profound realization. Everything you have ever known has existed only as an experience within consciousness. Physics and the dissolution of solid reality. Interestingly, modern physics has been quietly dismantling the idea of a solid, objective world. At the deepest levels, reality doesn't consist of solid objects. It consists of fields, not things, but fluctuations, not particles as tiny marbles, but probabilities, vibrations, patterns of energy. What we call matter is more like a stable pattern within an underlying field, something that appears solid, but isn't fundamentally so. And even more mysterious, observation seems to play a role in how reality behaves. At quantum scales, systems don't settle into definite states until they are measured or observed, which raises a question physics still cannot fully answer. What role does awareness play in reality? Consciousness as the fundamental field. Now imagine flipping the model completely. Instead of saying, consciousness emerges from matter, consider this. Matter appears within consciousness. In this view, consciousness is not a byproduct. It is the field in which all experience, including space, time, and matter, arises. The brain, then, is not a generator of consciousness, but a receiver, or more precisely, a filter, a tuning mechanism. Like a radio does not create the music. It tunes into a signal that already exists. The brain may be shaping, limiting, and interpreting a much larger field of awareness. What you call your consciousness may not be produced, but localized. The illusion of inside and outside. We tend to believe that awareness is inside our heads, that we are looking out at a world. But look closer. Where is the world actually appearing? Not out there, in some abstract sense. It appears in your experience. The sky you see, the ground beneath you, the people around you. All of it exists as perceptions within awareness. You never actually experience anything outside of it. So the idea that consciousness is inside the universe begins to dissolve. Because from direct experience, the universe appears inside consciousness. The sense of self, a construct within awareness, even the feeling of me, your identity, your story, your personality, is something that appears in awareness. Thoughts arise. This is who I am. This is my past. This is my future. But these are not the awareness itself. They are contents within it. Awareness is the space in which all of that comes and goes, unchanging, silent, always present, even when thoughts stop, even when the sense of identity fades. Awareness remains, reality as a rendered experience. If consciousness is fundamental, then reality begins to resemble something very different from a fixed, objective structure. It becomes more like a rendered experience. Not in the sense that it is fake, but in the sense that what you perceive is a presentation within awareness. Just like a dream. In a dream, the world feels real. You see landscapes, people, events, but all of it is arising within consciousness. And when you wake up, you realize the entire world you experienced was within you. Now consider this possibility. What if waking reality is similar? Not identical, but similar in structure. A stable, shared rendering within a deeper field of awareness. The final reflection. So consider this gently. What if everything you've been searching for, everything you've been trying to understand, is already present as the awareness reading these words, not hidden, not distant, not outside, but as the very field in which all experience unfolds? The universe is not something you are in. It is something that appears within the vast, silent, unchanging presence that you are.